Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Anupam Saxena. I'm currently working in the area of operations management at Jaipuria Institute of Management, Lucknow. In today's session, I will like to discuss with you operations scheduling, which is a very important concept in the field of operations management. By the end of this session, you will be able to understand the concept, importance, and methods involved in operations scheduling. To set the context, let's take a simple example of a restaurant kitchen during the busy lunch rush. With multiple dishes to serve, limited chefs, and strict deadlines to serve hot meals, scheduling helps to allocate these resources smartly and prioritize orders accordingly and ensure that customers are served promptly and efficiently. And taking another example of hospital operation theater, surgeries must be scheduled very carefully, considering the availability of the surgeons, the availability of operation room slots, and emergency cases also. So effective scheduling here directly impacts patient care and resource utilization. Let me take another example. At an MBA institute, scheduling will help to plan classes, teachers, and classrooms in a way that they do not clash. It makes sure that classes run smoothly, rooms are used properly, and both the students and teachers have a hassle-free experience. So operation scheduling is all about assigning to specific resources, which could be machines, people, or both, over the period of time. Effective scheduling helps to ensure that all the tasks are completed on time without overloading the resources. The core objectives of scheduling revolves around achieving operational efficiency. It's about using resources fully, finishing jobs on time, reducing costs, and avoiding bottlenecks, if any, that would delay everything. So, talking about the key objectives of scheduling, it includes maximizing the utilization of the resources. So by making sure that workers, machines, classrooms, or any other resources are not sitting idle, but they are being used properly and productively. Meeting deadlines by completing jobs, classes, or activities on time so that everything runs according to plan without unnecessary delays. Scheduling also helps to reduce operational costs. So efficient scheduling would help to minimize the wastage of time, energy, and money by organizing tasks smartly. Proper scheduling would also help in avoiding bottlenecks. So bottlenecks, they happen when one part of the process gets delayed and holds up everything else. So good scheduling would help to balance the workload and avoid such kind of slowdowns. Let's understand some of the important terminologies that are used in scheduling. A job, it is a unit of work. A work center is where the work happens. So we can take the example of machine or any other workstation. Processing time is how long it takes. The due date is the customer or internal deadline. Talking about make spend, it is a big one. It is the time from start of the first job to the end of the last one. There are various rules to decide job priority. These are basic rules which are used to decide the sequence of jobs. So each of them has their own pros and cons depending upon their goals, speed, customer satisfaction, or resource balancing. FCFS is simplest but not always efficient. SPT minimizes the total time. EDD ensures deadlines are met. LPT can reduce the idle time. Critical ratio considers urgency and is very practical when managing many tasks. Let's discuss some basics related to common scheduling rules. In first come first served basis criteria, which is also called as FCFS criteria, the jobs are processed in the order they arrive. It is easy to manage but may not always be the most efficient. In shortest processing time criteria, jobs that require the least time are done first. This minimizes the average time jobs spent in the system. In earliest due date criteria, Jobs with the nearest deadlines are completed first. This helps in meeting the delivery dates of the customers. Talking about the longest processing time, jobs needing the most time are scheduled first. It can help to balance the workload and avoid machine idleness. Talking about the critical ratio, the jobs are prioritized based on the ratio of time remaining until due date to the time needed to complete the job. In Johnson's rule, if we wanted to use for 2 machine or 3 machine problems, so it is a special rule that could be used to minimize total time, which is also called as make span, when jobs pass through 2 machines or 2 work centers in the same order. So different rules suit different situations. Choosing the right rule depends on whether the goal is speed, customer satisfaction, or overall better utilization of resources. Talking about some of the real world applications of scheduling. So scheduling is not just for the factories. Hospitals also schedule surgeries and appointments. Airlines plan crew and aircraft. Salons manage bookings. Talking about ERP systems like SAP and Oracle, they integrate these rules into business operations for real-time decision making, right? So scheduling is everywhere, from managing small hair salons to running global airlines and large hospitals. So it is an invisible engine that keeps operations moving smoothly. In a hospital, scheduling is done for surgeries, doctor appointment, nursing shift, and emergency room operations to optimize patient care and resource usage. In airline scheduling, it is carried out for flight crews, aircraft maintenance, airport gates, and baggage handling to avoid delays and maximize efficiency. Similarly, talking about salons and clinics, they manage customer appointment, staff availability, and service timings to reduce wait times and improve customer satisfaction. Manufacturing plants, they plan production orders, machine maintenance, and worker shift to maximize output and minimize downtime as well. Logistics and delivery services, they also use scheduling for identifying delivery routes and loading, unloading activities, like in Amazon, Flipkart, or courier companies, to optimize speed and reduce transportation cost. Talking about hotels and resorts, so managing room bookings, housekeeping schedules, and event spaces to maximize occupancy and ensure smooth operation, scheduling is being carried out. Similarly, scheduling can be carried out in educational institutes also for scheduling classes, for assigning the faculty, exams, and room bookings to avoid clashes and ensure a smooth academic calendar. In construction projects, scheduling is carried out for work teams, material deliveries, and equipment usage to meet project deadlines without cost overruns. ERP systems like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, they also makes use of integrated scheduling for finance, HR, operations, and supply chain, thereby providing real-time updates and smart planning across the departments. Now we would like to discuss about the different types of scheduling environment. So talking about the different environments like manufacturing plants, hospitals, airlines, or service centers, they might have unique needs and challenges. Therefore, they might be requiring different scheduling approaches. For example, a factory might prioritize minimizing production time, while a hospital must prioritize emergency cases or giving priority to the routine ones. So the hospital must prioritize emergency cases. Talking about understanding in the specific context, the goals, the constraints, and the priorities, it is essential for choosing the most effective scheduling method. Now there are certain challenges which are involved in scheduling. So real world scheduling is not easy. One has to deal with changes, uncertainty, as well as constraints all the time, and adaptability is the key. Talking about demand variability challenge, it may arise as customers' demand often fluctuates. We know that, making it hard to plan job volume in advance. To manage demand variability, companies use forecasting techniques and flexible scheduling systems. So strategies like capacity buffers, demand labeling, and use of part-time or cross-trained workers can be used to absorb demand shocks without creating any chaos. Machine breakdowns. So machine breakdowns can also occur due to unexpected equipment failure, and it could also delay scheduled jobs and disrupt the workflow. So to reduce the impact of machine breakdowns, organizations adopt preventive and predictive maintenance. So scheduling often involves buffer time or alternate routing to handle emergencies without disrupting overall flow. Absenteeism, we know that when we are talking about absenteeism, it is where the workers are unexpectedly absent, scheduled work may get delayed or reassigned. So absenteeism, it is managed by cross-training employees so they can fill in when needed, and by maintaining flexible work rosters. So workforce scheduling tools with real-time visibility would also help in reassigning tasks efficiently. Job duration uncertainty. So it may arise as sometimes actual processing times may take longer or may take shorter also than planned. So to deal with uncertainty in task durations, schedule use buffer times, simulation tools, and sometimes adopt stochastic scheduling models. So learning from historic data also helps to refine time estimates. So multitasking and resource constraints, it arises due to limited resources that are often shared between tasks, leading to bottlenecks. So effective scheduling involves identifying critical resources and ensuring that they are not overbooked. So techniques like bottleneck analysis, prioritization rules like SPT or EDD, and capacity optimization can help to maintain flow even when resources are tight. Now I'm going to discuss about some of the important tools which are commonly used for scheduling. So it may range from manual techniques to digital solutions. Talking about Gantt charts, they provide a visual timeline for tasks and resources. It is ideal for tracking progress, dependencies, and overlaps. Gantt charts can be used both for manufacturing as well as service industries. Talking about the critical path method, it identifies the longest path through dependent tasks. CPM, which is also called as critical path method, it helps to prioritize tasks that directly impact the project completion time. This is used heavily in project scheduling. Talking about PERT, which is also called as program evaluation review technique, it is used when task durations are uncertain. It applies probabilistic time estimates. So optimistic, most likely, or it could also be pessimistic. So this is often used in R&D and complex project scheduling. Talking about the Kanban boards, so Kanban boards, they are basically visual scheduling techniques for workflow, especially they are used in agile and lean environment. So it is also popular in software development and in team collaboration. So to sum up, operations scheduling is not just about organizing tasks. It is about maximizing efficiency, meeting deadlines, and ensuring a smooth workflow across different industry. Whether it's through simple tools like Gantt charts or advanced techniques like CPM, PERT, or Kanban, effective scheduling is at the heart of operational success. In real-world business, factories, hospitals, airlines, IT companies, smart scheduling directly improves performance, customer satisfaction, as well as profitability. One should always remember that good scheduling is not just planning, it is about smart decision making in action. Thank you very much for your attention.